Difficulty of your submission is social pressure. How am I going to follow these people and what they're going to say about me? How am I going to grow my beard and what they're going to say about me? My relatives, my parents, my people I know, people at work, "Hey, we know who you were, why you look like this now? You joined the God squad?" Yeah, Allah inspires. So social pressure stops everyone in their levels of submission. When you know the key to submission is your ability to control and overcome social pressure, what then shaitan took as a whole path now? Social media, to increase social pressure. He took the one key and made it the whole world. So that if you thought things were difficult before, imagine generations growing now where everything is on 10,000 cameras. You want to grow beard, there are 10 people photographing you at work, putting it everywhere out. So social dilemma became the entire earth because shaitan knew the key. So I'll make now social pressure so dominant by social media and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and every device they have is now horrifically damaging people based on social pressure. They can't walk, talk, move right and left without the fear of what is this social media going to say. And we live in a time of Dajjal, and Dajjal means deceit. And now you live in a world of complete deceit. You're surrounded by what you think are, I have 5,000 friends. Me, I have 1,000,002 friends on the internet, of which I don't know 10 of them. I don't know these people, they're not my friends. But shaitan wants you to think, no, they're your friends, I have friends, you know who I am, I got friends. You're lucky in life to have 2 people that you trusted or 1 person that you trusted. All is now but an illusion, and based on these friends I have now an image to upkeep. I say, are you crazy? Have you talked with these people who are image conscious? I know many of them like that. So I have an image to keep, I can't do like that, I can't be seen here, I can't do it. They walk to take a photograph, they eat to take a photograph, they buy clothes just for the purpose of a photograph. If you give them regular shoes they won't take a picture of it. They say, no, there has to be a specific type of shoe. The 10 other friends have posted that picture of that shoe. So now that little problem is the whole of this dunya. What became little was the ability to have faith now, it was reversed. Instead of the ocean of faith being large and the key of deceit being small that you could overcome, shaitan made the ocean of deceit large and the key of faith virtually impossible for somebody to enter now.
So when he puts out Instagram, he's taking your nazar and pulling you into a direction, and he knows that what you're looking at is going to be pulling you, come, come, like the Pied Piper, come this way. And before you know it all your desires are not towards the Divinely Presence. So that's why the Divinely Presence is inside the heart. When you keep meditating that the choices I'm making, is this going into my heart? Now he made it faster and he put out his TikTok, and these children are going completely wild. They can't control anything that they're seeing, their desires, their understandings, because it's coming so much into them, pulling them into a direction. And that's nazar baqadam. And then shaitan uses it for dunya. In the book called The Secret, wish for a parking space and it appears. You're using your spiritual power for a parking space and for material world, where you should be putting your nazar upon your heart and to reach your Lord's Divinely pleasure, and that keep me in the company of those whom you have favoured.
So then we saw how this key now flipped the whole earth, and this is what they call a Dajjal system. So when people are not saying, no, no it's not here, it's already here. The system has been implemented, people are living a life of complete deceit, friends that are not their friends. And the more you compromise yourself, the more they'll like you. You watch shows, when they post a picture of themselves regular, nobody likes it other than the religious. You have to take your clothes off to get likes. Now many social media people, they even took their hijab off to get more likes, and they entered now the realm of Dajjal. The shaykh, you don't have likes like these other people. Well, yeah, unless the shaykh has to take his clothes off to get likes, he's not going to get likes. You're going to get 10 likes and that's it, because nobody wants knowledges. So you think that those are your friends encouraging you towards badness, or this is Dajjal and his implementation of his hukum, his government and his way, and his complete movement into that already now implemented in China, that your social profile will base on who you are, how you eat and what you can interact with, right? So they'll take your social profile and say, if the collective whole likes you, you can rent an apartment. If we look at your social number, your index, instead of a credit number, which was companies getting together and saying, okay, this is how many loans you have, this is how many outstanding debts you have. They implemented now a social media service where your score now is not based on your finances but what people think of you and what the government standards. So imagine a day comes when they say, no, you know, beards, we give a down to that. And then all of a sudden everyone you know puts a down mark, your social score drops. You can't rent, you can't buy, you can't travel, you can't do nothing. Because they want to know, why is your score so low? Oh, so you're not like playing with us, huh? You're not playing with us? You're not going to play at all. That's the Dajjal system. All from this reality of sinking a boat. So the key for that understanding was, don't care what people think, fear only Allah. That
when Sayyidina Khidr agreed to take Nabi Musa on the testing, that's where the tariqah's life and the tariqah way and specifically Naqshbandiya way is based on those three principles. He took him to where the boat, he took him to the child and then he took him to the wall. And this again is a reminder at this point in our lives, this point of the journey of our life, the boat. That he took him to a boat and he put a hole in the boat of a servant and the boat sunk and the servant was not able to make his rizq. And Sayyidina Musa became very upset with that, and last year we described something about Sayyidina Musa that in these three testings why was Sayyidina Musa upset and why was he communicating back to show his level of discomfort with Sayyidina Khidr. He said, because Sayyidina Khidr wasn't seen. And that opened the reality of social media. Means that because Sayyidina Khidr wasn't seen, when somebody broke the boat nobody could see Sayyidina Khidr. So everyone assumed it was Nabi Musa sitting out there breaking a boat of a servant of Allah. And that's when people come to judge you and you're more worried about the reaction of people versus the reaction of Allah. And that's what shaitan has built social media on. The purpose of social media is to move you based on what people are thinking, and that's what children are falling into this trap and they're under this dilemma. They're more concerned with what their friends and people will think of them because of the social stigma. So you're on a boat, nobody sees the shaykh you're with and just sees the boat becomes damaged and goes down. And then the concern is that the whole community will think, I broke this. And they'll come and say, what kind of person and pious person are you that you broke this man's ship? So it's not that he had a issue with Allah questioning why you broke the ship, it was more because of the social dilemma of what are people going to say when they see me breaking this ship, because they don't see you, they just see me in the ship breaking it. And that becomes the issue that's so dangerous in our lives right now. And that's why Surat Al-Kahf and the teaching of the tariqah comes in such a relevance in this day and age when shaitan has perfected this understanding. He's perfected on how to move people based on the social consciousness. So kids now can't function anymore, they can't think anymore, they can't do anything anymore without the concern of… and people. Kids are just now being trained and bred in it and they're being raised in this understanding. People are more concerned now about what people think and the likes they'll get and the group of friends they think they have from online services, which they may not know any of them, and they perform their life now based on these likes. And that's the danger, and that's what Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Khidr was showing to us as an example. One of the realities that was coming out is he had a hard time to submit to Allah because he was more concerned about the social issue. Because one whom doesn't care about anything and trained in Naqshbandiyya, they don't care about any social issue. They don't care who hates them and they don't care who likes them. They just teach, and everyone else comes to them, oh this guy he posted bad about you, and now this one he posted bad about you, and when you go to this person, this shaykh he talks bad about you. They don't really care because what they do is not for that one anyways, they do everything for Allah. And through their training, this social stigma and social pressure, they should have overcome that because they know how shaitan is operating, they know what shaitan is doing with all these games and all these devices and all these softwares and apps that are being developed. And that was a reality from Surat Al-Kahf. The unseen Prophet testing a Prophet and more concerned about what the society would think versus what Allah was testing him, and that's the danger. So when he complained about the boat, it was more about people watching that you're breaking a boat. And tariqah comes to teach that this is an immense danger and this path is based on your choices and your test in life. If you're inspired to do good because something coming in your life that you need that in your account, you need the zikrs and the actions in your account. All the people who have comments, likes and dislikes about what you're doing, they won't be there with you in your difficulty, they won't be there in your grave, they won't be there in any sickness you have, nothing. They have absolutely no role to play, they can't help you and they can't make it to go away. So this life of ours is based on my grave and what Allah wants from me. So then this is a big part of the testing, is that not to be a servant of social media, not to be a servant and slave of trying to get people's likes and get people's comments and to be moving towards that, because that is a form of a satanic influence upon the servant. And the training that they have is they don't care who likes, don't like, who hates them, who backbites them, because we're not doing anything for people. We do what we do for Allah and for Sayyidina Muhammad. Who likes it, alhamdulillah, ahlan wa sahlan, come join us. Who doesn't like it, goodbye to you.
We've described many times, it's like walking in a crowded room but with your eyes closed. If you hit the table 2 times you're going to be screaming angry because you're bumping into everything and hurting. The guidance, the religion, the teaching is a way in which to take the veils off, and a guide is essential because you can't see but he sees. That's why guides should be open-hearted, not the blind leading the blind. And don't ever ask anyone a question other than your shaykh. You've opened and broken your a'udhu. That you ask somebody blind a question, it's the blind leading the blind. And now the children and teenagers, that's all they do. They ask fellow crazy people, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do with this? What should I do with that? How should I do like that? How should I do like that? Why would you open yourself to ask all of those things? Most of your friends are crazier than you and you want them to give you guidance. Imagine then what type of garbage people are collecting. They sit, they think that's a good thing. I'll ask my friend, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? One, you've lowered yourself, showed yourself as weak and put upon somebody else now the role of being a shaykh for you. You change your relationship, that's no longer a relationship of friendship, that's a relationship of somebody always wanting to see you and tell you what to do. So tariqah comes and teaches, don't ever do that. Don't ask anyone anything other than your shaykh, so that you don't give the perspective or the point of being weak, and that you don't want to have 15 opinions coming into your mind and becoming schizophrenic. Imagine schizophrenia is waswases. Some people have multiple personalities, like 5 different waswases at a time talking to them. Imagine if you made that into actual insans. 10 times worse, 1,000 times worse. That 5 people are continuously telling you all the time what to do, and each coordinates a different direction until your mind just splits and says, I don't know, I become anxious, depressed and all sorts of sicknesses. Tariqah comes with the perfection of character. No, you have to ask. You pray to your Lord, you make salawats upon Sayyidina Muhammad, read Qur'an for your guidance, and if Allah inspire you to a guide, then ask the guide. What is my coordinates for my life? What should I do on a daily basis? And we said before, the guidance they give, you'll know your tariq by this guidance is this way and your opinion is that way. So your tariqah is what? It's just this distance on how to shift what you think into what they're teaching. When you're meeting the understanding of what the guide is teaching you, the coordinates that the guide is suggesting for you, and you've come to the taslim that, you know I don't know. And that if Allah inspiring within you the coordinates for me, because the real guides who ati'ullah, ati' Rasul wa ulul amri minkum, they have a file on who you are. Like a doctor's clinic, now it's all electronic. You don't even have to old times the doctor had to have your actual file, he had to actually fax it to somebody else. Now it's all electronic. You go into the doctor, he's been dedicated to you from your insurance company, you walk in, he knows, hello, how are you? Just tell me your date of birth. Oh, these are all the medications you're on. He already has everything there. You think if Allah did that for dunya, He doesn't have that for akhirah? Your electronic file is already flowing. You merely make the connection, that file is downloaded, its guidance, its coordinates is already there. Every guidance they're giving is based on that file that's there to take you to that destination. And taslim, before you can submit, is then to hear the coordinates and say, yeah, I don't agree with you. Then your whole life is about how to bring it back, bring it back, bring it back until you feel that you feel and you think and you understand like he understands. And it's all based on the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, not based on the love of that person. We're not making an idol out of a person. He's merely like a life coach. He should play an invisible role in your life. That you ask a question, he gives an answer and guidance, suggestions to you, never a command. Nobody's capable of carrying any command. Gives a suggestion, I think like this. And your whole life is to chew on that and think that in my heart I should be trying to accomplish maybe closer to that. I want to conquer the earth and he's telling me to conquer myself. And that becomes the whole path and that
सनम कदा है जहाँ ला